Time to put down, Smackdown. 30 in the house, it's a rap now. On the ones and twos, dropping facts now. We got a baddie of the night, y'all can feel me right. Who it gonna be? Who gon' take the prize? Award show for the best, award for the worst. Botch of the night, damn, that must have hurt. Breaking down everything you need to know. This the casual Smackdown post. This the casual Smackdown post. Shout, get ready, get live. Yo, here we go. This the casual Smackdown post.
Muted. Nobody could hear me. What is up, everybody, and welcome to the Casual Wrestling Live Friday edition. If you're new here, hit the sub button right off the bat. If this isn't your first time, then welcome back. Make sure to cast your vote for Baddie of the Night. If you have an award to submit, you can send that to me through DM on Discord. This week's episode is brought to you by the Mike and D Casual Sports Show. If you're not already subscribed, you are missing out. Lots of cool conversations there. Tonight we answer my top 5 questions from Friday Night Smackdown. This is a live podcast, so make sure to submit your hot takes, opinions, and questions in the chat, and we will get to those at the appropriate time. No more paywall. This is a 100% free channel. No super chats, nothing like that. All we ask is you just come, hang out, like, share, tell your friends about the content. That we're just trying to grow this community to as big as we possibly can. So, Lauren.
Yeah.
I'm about to drop on you my top 5 questions from Friday Night Smackdown this week. Starting with number 1, can the Bloodline last forever? It seems like this story is never going to end. Number 2, could Kevin Owens and Randy Orton take over CM Punk and Drew McIntyre as feud of the year? Number 3, is Johnny Gargano on the chopping block after tonight? Number 4, we have who should be the first United States Women's Champion? And number 5, does anybody actually care about the Motor City Machine Guns? So let's talk about it, all right?
All right.
Here's the deal. Let's start with number 1. Can the Bloodline last forever? Every time I think we're starting to stray away, we're starting to come to the end of what the Bloodline is, I get sucked back in. I don't know. Did you watch tonight? I didn't know if you were watching.
Yeah, I was watching.
It's Quentin Tarantino style shit. Mm-hmm. This is Steven Spielberg level of production. This is absolutely amazing storytelling. And I know in the Discord, Wavy D expressed being a little tired of the Bloodline or saying that it can't last forever. I don't think he's tired at this point in time, but saying that he may be at the end of his rope. I'm in. Strap me in on the roller coaster. If this goes for the next 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, this is the reason I come to watch SmackDown. This is absolutely Roman Reigns was absolutely phenomenal tonight. Solo was on his game tonight. Jimmy, Jay on their game tonight. Sami Zayn on his game tonight. Jacob Fatu on his game tonight. Like, the Bloodline's cooking, man. This is the MCU of WWE, and I never want it to end. Like, some people become infatuated with Iron Man and Spider-Man and that story. Some people like Batman. I like the Bloodline. Mm-hmm. This is my comfort food. This is my Bobby Sure was saying, I think it ends at WrestleMania. I think there's absolutely zero chance that this Bloodline story ends at WrestleMania. This Bloodline story is literally the MCU. Maybe the Roman Reigns saga ends at WrestleMania, but you're out of your mind if you don't think that it then continues with the Jey Usos, with the Jacob Fatus, right? With the Solo Sikoas. There is still so much story to tell. There are still stories. I think we're in tune for probably at some point a passing of the guard with like a Jey Uso versus The Rock. Jey Uso is exploding. He's heading upward. Sami Zayn is back involved. Sami Zayn, when he is part of the Bloodline story, he immediately goes from zero likability in my book to just off the charts need him on the screen as much as possible. That to me, so they're asking, can it continue without Roman Reigns? Sure it can. Sure it can. Of course it can. It's a proper passing of the guard. If anybody is blind to the fact that Jey Uso is a star in the making, you can deny that all you want. You can pretend that Jey Uso's not the next guy, but the crowd reaction says everything. And the crowd is there for Jey Uso. And when we finally get the passing of the guard from Roman Reigns to Jey Uso, which will happen at some point in time, Jey Uso's gonna get the rub from The Rock at some point in time. He's gonna get a rub from Roman Reigns at some point in time. I think that this story continues. Now, it may simmer down, it may go away for a little bit, but it's going to pipe back up at some point. This Bloodline story is now going to be intertwined into wrestling history forever. I don't think within the next 5 years there's not some form or fashion of the Bloodline existing in the WWE in some way. I think it's just ingrained at this point into being the culture of professional wrestling.
Yeah.
I absolutely, the reality is this is it, right? I find myself winding down. I find myself losing my attention span for wrestling sometimes wanes, right? Monday Night Raw, there's not a lot going on Mondays that I'm excited for. Then I turn on my TV on Friday, not expecting hardly anything tonight. And we start just from minute one, we start cooking with the Bloodline. We start cooking with Jey Uso, with Roman Reigns, with Jimmy, with Sammy, having a little meeting. Roman all of a sudden goes into it, like kind of reverts back into the douchebag Roman Reigns that we've known, the bad guy Roman Reigns. And we all kind of go, ooh, this doesn't feel right, right? And Sammy walks off. Then we fast forward to the end of the show, and all of a sudden, now we think, here's a plot twist, right? Sami Zayn's a bad guy.
Yeah.
But then we plot twist like Quentin Tarantino's here, and Sami Zayn's back to being a good. This is wrestling. It's supposed to be over the top. It's supposed to be crazy. It's supposed to be wild. It's so much, like, I had so much fun tonight again.
I was super excited about it. I just want to remind everybody, do you remember that brief period of time where we didn't have them on? Like how boring it was?
When there was no, and that's what I think that's the argument they're making. The chat is making the argument, when there's no Roman Reigns, can this be successful? I would argue that as long as Roman is looming as the tribal chief, it's hard to tell the story without him. I think there's a point in time where we pass the guard, and then it can exist without Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
But as long as Roman and The Rock and all these people are looming in the shadows, this is their story. But don't get it twisted. Like, the MCU continued when Iron Man died. Like, I think there's a point in time where people were like, the MCU can't go on without Robert Downey Jr. It still goes on. It may never be what it was at the height of Thanos, right? We may never have the Bloodline at the level of Roman Reigns and The Rock and the Cody Rhodes story and all of that. But I think it's still going to play a pivotal part in wrestling moving forward. What's going on?
I'm just laughing because Mike was like, Sami Zayn in the Bloodline is America's favorite white boy.
Yeah.
I remember I was hating on him probably a couple weeks ago because he was kind of boring, but him in the Bloodline is what is exciting to me.
Who was, what was the other day? It was Jameis Winston talking about Eminem.
Yeah.
He's like, that's my white boy. Sami Zayn's our white boy. I'm with it. I'm with it. He's the white dude in high school that hangs with the minorities and shows up with cornrows. Sami Zayn, man, he's just more likable here. Like, Sammy had worn thin. I didn't enjoy the underdog Sami Zayn against Gunther storyline. I didn't connect with that. The minute he comes back and he is re-involved in this Bloodline, I'm like, oh, this is the Sami Zayn that I have missed for the last, 300 days.
Yeah.
What else is going on here? Just the SmackDown. Let's just make it the SmackDown Bloodline show and put all the stars on Raw for Netflix. It's what the people want. 100%. I'm not against this idea. I'm not, at this point, I think Netflix might just invest into, like, the Bloodline hour of wrestling.
Yeah.
You got Monday Night Raw, you got Friday Night Smackdown, and then you've just got the Bloodline Hour, where it's like a soap opera, right? It's like Days of Our Lives.
Yeah.
It's Days of the Bloodline. You know, the Samoan Dynasty, something like that. I'm all about that. I definitely don't think that's a bad idea. Gear 2 says The Rock is 170 years old. He's wrestling Roman, Cody, then he's done. Zero chance. No.
The Rock's in like amazing shape.
He's in amazing shape. He has a vested interest in the WWE. He makes money every time it does well. He doesn't. So as far as like solid runs, sure. I don't think though that The Rock is not about to not wrestle once a year just for that ego boost that comes with it, right? When he steps out there and the crowd goes absolutely, you don't get that adrenaline anywhere else.
Yeah.
You don't get that hit anywhere else. It's why guys like Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre play football way past the prime.
Yeah.
It's because once it's over, and you lose that adrenaline rush that comes. The reality is for The Rock, he left it for a while, and I think he forgot what it felt like. Then he came back last year, and all of a sudden he goes, "Oh, this can be fun. I can do movies, and I can do wrestling." So I think it's crazy to think he's not going to do like a Brock Lesnar situation where once in a blue moon he shows up and wrestles against a Jey Uso or somebody who needs that. I think it's crazy. I absolutely think that The Rock will continue wrestling. He's not done by any means. I think
for sure.
We saw the way he talked this last time. He talked like he absolutely was having the time of his life. I think he wrestles until he physically can't wrestle anymore. And a Rock match doesn't need to be a 20-minute match. It can be a 10-minute match full of just the famous Rock spots. That's perfectly fine.
For sure. Side note, your Lily doll looks creepy as
behind
fuck.
me?
Yeah.
With the light on it?
Uh-huh.
Wavy D says, I feel like the double plot twist was unneeded, though. Felt like when you finally busted, but you...
I liked it. I liked being like, haha, here's another surprise. Round 2, let's go.
So I will say, it wasn't needed, but I didn't hate it. I didn't absolutely hate it. I think we all assumed that this was going to turn back around. I don't think at any point in time in watching SmackDown did I think Sammy was actually going to side with Solo Sikoa, but I think it was just one of those, like, imagine if you're 10 or 11 years old right now and you're watching SmackDown. Put yourself in 10-year-old Wavy D's body. Yeah. And you just saw the Bloodline reunite in the ring, and have a conversation. It looks like Roman kicked Sammy out of the club, right? And then all of a sudden, Sammy shows back up and Solo says he's a bad guy. Your emotions are absolutely just on top of themselves. You don't know what's going on.
For sure. And
then for Sammy to actually kick Solo, I think 10 or 11-year-old Wavy D goes, all right, this you took me on a roller coaster tonight. I think grown-ups, us as adults, we tend to look for, like, we foreshadow what's going on.
I was way excited. I was like, what's going to happen? No, Sami Zayn is not going to fight with them.
You don't do that, Sammy. You don't turn on your brothers.
Sammy.
Mike wants to know what a 10-year-old Wavy D looks like. I'm sure we can find out. I'd rather get Roman the full-on beatdown and Heyman have to get Roman. So, Wavy D, I'm with you 100%. That's when I was playing predictive in the Discord, like in my head, that's the story I was telling, was that tonight Roman gets the shit beat out of him, right? And nobody, or maybe they stand on stage and they watch, or they don't even show up to help him. The story I was telling in my head consisted of that, and then it is Paul Heyman showing up next week and going, you're not that guy anymore. Like, you're going to have to understand, you need the tribe. You need the bloodline. And so I did see it that way. I don't know what's going on. Is Heyman getting back involved in this story? Is Heyman done? That's the questions that'll have to be answered later on.
Yes, sir.
But I did tell that story in my head, but I think this works. I'm not mad at this.
For sure.
This absolutely worked as far as storytelling goes. Second question of the night, guys, is can this Kevin Owens and Randy Orton feud creep up last second, fourth quarter, and still feud of the year from Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. I have thoughts on this.
Okay.
CM Punk and Drew McIntyre was an absolute masterpiece, but it was surrounded by some stupid story beats. It was surrounded by a bracelet. It was, it had story beats that I made fun of. This Kevin Owens and Randy Orton shit has been absolutely flawless in the first couple weeks of building up.
Because Randy is amazing.
Wait, whoa. Gear 2 says Kevin Owens is not that guy? Woo!
No.
We could have that conversation. Kevin Owens is not only that guy. I think Kevin Owens is the guy. I have made on numerous occasions the argument that Kevin Owens, when locked in and put in the proper storyline, is the single best professional wrestler in the entire business. Entire business. You give me any other name and put them side by side with Kevin Owens, and I will make arguments that Kevin Owens is the best in the business. Now, you pair this Kevin Owens with maybe the best version of Randy Orton we've ever seen. Like, Randy's on his game. Physically, he's the biggest I've ever seen him.
Yeah.
On the microphone, he looks the most comfortable I've ever seen him. He seems so game for this storyline. I am all about this. I think there is a world that exists where this creeps in, and when we do our awards, come last week of December, and we do our awards for feud of the year, there's a world where I write this down. I pencil this in as my feud of the year.
Yeah.
Gear 2 says Kevin Owens is like a 7-Eleven cashier that tries to act tough.
No.
I don't believe that. I think so. What I think you're equating here, Geartooth, is guys like Kevin Owens, just because of the shape of his body, like I would employ you to look up like what a lot of real fighters look like. I would employ you, go back. You're gonna have to. That just says, what does that even mean? I would implore you to go back and try to find me better wrestling matches than Kevin Owens puts on. Find me better promos than Kevin Owens puts on. Find me the list of guys right now who can do those things better, and we can have a conversation. KO versus CM Punk at SummerSlam would hit hard. I think Kevin Owens genuinely doesn't like CM Punk. And I think it's even beyond the dislike that Seth Rollins had for him.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to see CM Punk and Kevin Owens cross path.
For sure.
It's the whole package. He's no Tank Abbott.
Who the fuck is Tank Abbott?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to continue
Roper
to.
Granger.
We can agree to disagree, but I believe in my heart of hearts, when I start breaking down, I've always said, like, when I break down who is the best all around, to me it's Kevin Owens. The promo battles would be crazy of Kevin Owens and CM Punk. It would get personal real fast, I think, and it would be great.
Why
don't
they like each other? Do you know? I don't really know.
So Kevin
Is it a
Owens,
mutual non-like, or is it a?
well, Kevin Owens is friends with the Young Bucks and those guys, and so I don't know. I'm sure there's two sides to every story.
And he knows their story.
He knows their side of the story. And it's been said that CM Punk has been an asshole throughout his career. So I'm sure they've crossed paths at different times and don't like each other.
Yeah.
Tank Abbott is an old MMA fighter from when UFC first started. Okay.
I watched UFC when it first started. I just don't remember that motherfucker.
I don't know. But I don't,
There's no Forrest Griffin.
Yeah, I can't line up on the idea that, like, Kevin Owens is not the whole package. I mean, physically, for a guy who is a little bit, kind of a chubby boy, fat boy, team fat boy.
He can fucking move.
He moves, right? Yeah,
Fuck
like
yeah.
there's nothing anybody else can do in the ring that KO cannot do. Mm-hmm. On a microphone, there's nobody better.
He's funny.
His comedic timing is impeccable.
He did the whole thing with Elias, right?
Yeah, yes.
That was one of my favorite things that he's done.
Sure.
Like,
hey,
his
how about the
comedy.
Chris Jericho? You just made the list. That was them.
That was them?
Yes.
I like it.
Yeah, so he's been a part of some of the best comedic storylines. He's been a part of some good, serious storylines. So I can't get with that idea. And then we talk about Randy Orton. I don't know, Randy Orton's like 70 years old or something like that and just not going to slow down. That pile driver tonight, oh my God. They finally, like, the psychology of wrestling, they finally used one move. It took one move, and Randy Orton sold the shit out of that move, and it felt like old school. It just felt, this feels very similar to the Attitude Era style of wrestling where it's blurring lines of storyline. There's a lot of, like, you know, Kevin Owens kind of coming out during the promo, but not with music playing. It's just they're blurring the lines and trying to make it feel as real as possible. I love it. I think that at the end of the day, if they put on one or two banger matches, my recency bias will step in, and I very easily could call Kevin Owens and Randy Orton the feud of the year.
Yeah.
It was a very safe pile driver too. That just goes to my point of how good Kevin Owens is, right? That it was like
how do you make it a safe pile driver?
So he absorbed, his big belly absorbed most of the blow, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of people will put your neck in between the legs, and drop you down, and then your head can take some impact.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's what happened to Stone Cold, was he took a pile driver like that.
Yeah.
But Kevin Owens, knowing that Randy Orton is fragile in that area, absorbed a lot of that blow on his stomach. He took, if you go back and watch it, Randy Orton's head was nowhere near the ground. But it doesn't have to be. That's the beauty of professional wrestling, right? It happens. The idea of it. It happens so quickly.
You're just like, whoa.
It's a move that's not legal, right? Vince McMahon outlawed this move. We're not allowed to do this. So doing this move all of a sudden made this seem real personal, real sketchy.
For sure.
And and Geartooth, you're entitled to your opinion. I'm not trying to discount your opinion. I'm just letting you know.
Is it really not legal? There's non-legal moves?
Yeah, because it's extremely unsafe.
Oh. Has anybody ever gotten, like, hurt? Like,
I believe quite a few people have gotten hurt from pile drivers. Yes. I said Stone Cold was one of them.
Yeah, but I didn't know he got hurt.
I believe it, like, ended his career for a while.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so it's definitely. And yeah, like I said, Geartooth, nothing against your opinion. I'm just letting you know I don't share that opinion, but we can disagree. We can definitely disagree. I agree. No bracelet. Let's move on. There are things about this story that I like. Mm-hmm. All right, so question here, guys. This is a question.
Okay.
Is Johnny Gargano on the chopping block after, after seeing Indy Hartwell get sent packing, we all kind of agree that Candice LeRae has not been as interesting, I think, as we'd like her to be. And it appears that Ciampa is being primed for a heel turn. My question is are we starting to look at some of these Triple H rehires? He brought back what was her name? The Tegan Knox, right? He brought back Johnny Gargano. And we were all excited for a moment, but are we on the precipice of maybe realizing there's a reason Vince McMahon didn't want some of these guys around?
I think so.
I do too. I believe that we're starting to see the difference, the clean difference between, and I hate to always bring it back to AEW versus WWE, but Johnny Gargano is clearly an AEW wrestler, right? Lots of talent. The X's and O's in the ring are great, but it doesn't translate character-wise.
No.
And so, like, I quoted in the Discord as like when he went up to the Motor City Machine Guns and he was happy. I was like, I don't like this character. I don't like the guy who gets beat and he's fucking goofy about it. And I've known these guys for 19 years. That's great. You still got to want to kick their ass. Mm-hmm. And I was glad that Ciampa came up with the attitude he did because I go, okay, I see what they're doing. Triple H is ready to advance Ciampa to a situation where Ciampa can be successful and we can get heel Ciampa, but the reality is that's going to leave Gargano and Candice LeRae a little bit out in the open, and you start to go, Johnny Gargano in tag team wrestling makes sense. At this point in time, I don't see a path where Johnny Gargano gets to a mid-card title. I just don't see it. There's too much young talent at this point that I don't see that path for Johnny Gargano. So without the tag team division to kind of, cushion the blow, I think Johnny Gargano's on the chopping block. I see Wavy D saying Indy was the better of the two. She is more WWE style than Candice.
Agree.
Agree.
They just didn't give her like the opportunity. I felt like to really showcase what she did. And I asked in the Discord. I don't know if anybody answered me. What makes her the poison pixie? I don't know anything about her than the fact that she wears wings in the beginning.
I agree. Well, so I think I think she used to be kind of maniacal and sneaky, but that's not translating.
No,
what?
I don't see that at all on camera.
I think that's her old character,
I
and I
still
think
want her to throw some fucking pixie dust somewhere.
It's the old thing where like you have to evolve. You can't be the poison pixie forever. Your character has to evolve, and it doesn't seem to be. And I agree with Wavy D and Dead Chef 100% that Indy Hartwell was the one. Mm-hmm. If I was going to keep one of any, and this is maybe including Ciampa, because even Ciampa is of the age and the size, and I don't really know where you go with Ciampa from here anyway. I hope he does well, because I've always been a fan of Ciampa. But out of the four of the Candice, Indy, Ciampa, and Gargano, Indy's the one I'd probably keep, because in a women's division that does tend to lack size, I think that if you take Indy and work her correctly, and you put her back in and train her, she's a Raquel Rodriguez, 100%. She's a serviceable women's wrestler. She's never going to be, I don't think she's going to be the star, but I think that she could be. There's a lot of people who are fans of, you see, even in our Discord, there are people who are fans of Indy Hartwell. I really don't know who is a fan right now of Candice LeRae. I don't know who's a fan of Johnny Gargano. I'm a fan of Ciampa, so I can say that, but I don't know.
He serves a more masculine sort of "I'm here" energy.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I think he makes it. He's a believable bad guy. I don't know. Johnny Gargano gives like John Cena vibes, but there's no physical presence there to back that up.
It's like the little, like there's always that one little boy in the group that tries to act like he's real big. That's what it reminds me of.
He gives little guy energy. And I don't mean like I guess I mean that in a negative way.
I mean it exactly how it sounded.
But he gives like Napoleon energy.
Exactly.
Dead Chef says Ciampa is a badass heel, so if they turn him, it would be good. I believe so. 10 people on Twitter like Candice, so they got to keep her. Well, she's the speed champion, guys. You can't get rid of she's holding the.
I think we say this all the time.
What's that?
I think we say that all the time, that she's like the champion or whatever. Yeah, and I forget.
She's the speed champion. She's holding the division hostage. You can't get rid of a champion, right?
Yeah.
Jesus. I mean, the introduction of the United States Championship, which we'll talk about in a minute. Well, we can transition right now.
Okay.
The introduction of the United States Women's Championship immediately makes the Women's Speed Championship absolutely nothing. Just complete bullshit. You just continue to push that belt down a list of like being the least important thing in WWE. They just slid that in there tonight. They just Nick Aldis just slid in the fact we've got a new women's title. Just on a random, we've been expecting this announcement for the last 3 months. And they carried around the damn crown jewel belts in protective bulletproof cases. And then all of a sudden on a random Friday, November 8th, 2024, Nick Aldis just goes, oh, hey, by the way, pretty new women's belt here we have.
Yeah.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy. But now it leads to beg to the question, who is going to be the women's United States champion? Like when you start looking, Gear 2 says, I have a horrible feeling Candice is going to be the first U.S. champ.
This is probably possible.
Yikes. I don't think you're wrong, Gear 2. I think that it feels like it's being built up that way. Bobby says Chelsea Green's name's written all over it. Please.
I'd like to see Chelsea Green in that light.
Please, I'm begging you, Triple H. If you know what is good for Friday Night Smackdown and this title, and you want this title to jumpstart and be effective and get attention, put the belt on Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green.
There's no other option.
Mm-hmm.
Give Chelsea the belt. Let her do the Chelsea thing with the belt, and let's roll with it. I think that's absolutely what you have to do. Now, the question I saw asked by Lasagna was, is this a interbrand belt? I am assuming it's not, because it feels like to me that would have been kind of implemented when they showed. This felt like just doing this on a random Friday felt like this is a SmackDown specific belt. I think we're going to get, and the fact that they named it the Women's United States Championship and not something else, I think that leads me to believe either right now or later on, we're getting a Women's Intercontinental Championship. I do believe. Wait, they said it was for Raw and SmackDown? When did they say that? I missed that part. Did anybody else catch that? Blue Thunderbomb says they said it was for Raw and SmackDown.
Okay.
Because that kills my whole thought process. Because it doesn't. It felt like a very weird way to announce something that's goes between brands. Nick Aldis said it. I didn't hear that. Maybe so. Maybe I missed it. But either
that,
or,
right before
Chelsea
all the girls
Green's
came
still.
out, right? I went
What's
to
that?
the bathroom for a minute, so I might have missed it.
Well, Bobby said he missed it. Dead Chef said he missed it. I'll have to go back and listen. Maybe I missed it. Maybe I just, was kind of enamored with the announcement. But
yeah,
it is what it is. Did Michael Cole say it right after? I don't know. Mm-hmm. Weird. It seems weird. I would have named it something else. If I was making a belt that was going to float between both shows, I would have named it like the television title or something like that. I would. Wavy D says, I'm pretty sure it was just SmackDown. Nick was raving about how deep and talented the SmackDown roster was. Yeah, I'm gonna go back. We're gonna go back and rewatch that, Wavy D. We'll get to the bottom of that.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure.
But I think it's got to be Chelsea Green. I do. I definitely do. And I saw someone say Michin. Michin's not a bad choice down the road.
Does she only have is her contract almost up, or did I?
Who?
Michin.
Where'd you see that?
I swear I saw something about it online.
I didn't.
There was 90 days left on her contract.
No, I haven't seen that, and I don't think she's unhappy.
I might have made it up completely.
So.
This is a very big possibility.
I think it's just gonna be between brands in the same way any other belt would. Like during the draft, it would change shows. That would make sense, right? That all the belts are seemingly between brands, but yeah. I think it is a SmackDown. I'm gonna guess that's a SmackDown specific title. I'm gonna stay on that thought process until I confirm otherwise.
Okay.
But yeah, hope it's not Candice LeRae. And nothing against Candice LeRae, but I hope it's not. I hope it's. First choice is Chelsea Green. Second choice, who would be a second choice on SmackDown? Naomi, maybe? I feel like Naomi could do it.
Tiffany.
No, the IWC said she was getting released, and then she tweeted that it wasn't true. Who are we talking about?
I think he's talking about Michin.
Oh, okay. The IWC said she was getting released, then it was tweeted that... Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Like, she's still doing TikToks and stuff with Nia Jax, and usually that's a good indicator that you're still in the circle, right? You're in the inner circle. Mm-hmm. All right, last question of the night here.
Yes, sir.
And I saw that Bobby Sherwood said this one hurt his heart, but this is a genuine question, and this is really meant for conversation. This is not me. This is not meant, although a lot of what I do is meant to shit on people. This is a genuine question, and Bobby, you get the opportunity to kind of defend them here. Does anybody really care about the Motor City Machine Guns? Because I tune out when they come on screen. To me, there are so many more interesting tag teams right now that I don't feel like they had enough credibility coming into WWE from wherever they came from to warrant the excitement that people tried to build up around them. So to me, I don't know, I don't understand giving them the tag team championships. Unless we are building towards, because the second thing I wrote down is, how is Montez Ford taking a back seat to generic white guy number 1 and generic white guy number 2? Yes, thank you, Brother Sam. Same time, just bland white guys. That's all it is.
That's literally what it is. Look like carbon copies of each other.
Yeah, the fact that they beat out the Profits for the titles is maddening. It is. Wavy D says he's excited for Motor City Machine Guns. Okay. Explain to me why, Wavy D. Explain to me what are you excited about? Two guys who are seemingly over the prime, like past the prime. I'm happy they're on my TV. That's a different conversation. That is a very different conversation. I have no problem. The more talent that is on TV, the better. Where I have an issue is when I can point to you right now that Montez Ford could be arguably the best wrestler in the company. If that means through tag team, if that means through mid-card, if that means through main titles, he's not getting the recognition and the screen time because these two new guys showed up. That's my problem. They're your favorite tag team's favorite tag team. Like 20 years ago they were. Like that, I understand. I've heard that quote over and over. They're not my favorite tag team, and they're probably not my tag team's favorite tag team anymore. The dream matches we're going to get over the next 2 years is exciting. But hold on, Wavy D. Dream match to who? You're walking a very, very thin line of sounding like an AEW fan when you say the dream matches we're going to get over the next. They're dream matches to who? I'm not dreaming about that. That's not, the Motor City Machine Guns aren't in my dreams. You go Motor City Machine Guns versus Street Profits. To me, that's not that exciting. If your spot was taken, then it wasn't your spot. Nope, we're not playing that game. No, because then you have to, if we play that game, you have to then have a serious conversation about like the lack of diversity with like black wrestlers in WWE. I think you have to have that conversation.
Yeah.
If you play if your spot is taken. And I don't want to play either game. Wrestling is clearly a pre-scripted, chosen thing. And I don't, right now, I think we can just take a raise of hands and say, who would be more excited for the Street Profits versus who is more excited about the Motor City Machine Guns? And I would be very primed to believe that the IWC is going to all raise their hands for the Motor City Machine Guns.
Yeah.
And all of the casual wrestling fans are going to raise their hands for the Street Profits.
I'm the Street Profits all the way.
And even Bobby Sherwood's being honest when he says, like, it's 100% nostalgia, and I accept that. That's cool. 100%, I get it. We've tried to have this conversation earlier this year, and the whole Discord told me that black wrestlers were in a great spot.
I don't think anybody said that.
All I'm saying, Wavy D, the only thing I'm saying is if you're going to play your spot is taken, then you have to have that conversation. I don't think we have to have that conversation because I think we can just chalk this up to Triple H making bad decisions. That's the argument I'll make. But I'll have the conversation about there's a genuine concern with me. I will say this out loud. That Triple H does not know how to book black wrestlers. That is a genuine concern to me. When I look at the roster and you have Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair as tag team champions, and right now you have lame duck champions Liv Morgan and Nia Jax, who are not bigger stars than Jade Cargill. And now we're starting to see Bianca and Jade on the screen more often. So I'd say that's a positive. But I'll have the conversation, Wavy D, if we want to have the conversation. None of the tag teams right now really excite me. As far as dream matches, you got to reward the long-term fans as well as the short-term casual fans. WWE has never worked that way. WWE has never been a company that based its matchmaking on long-term, especially tag teams that you're talking about. So now you're rewarding fans that weren't WWE fans? I absolutely don't. I think this is a play. Hopefully this is a play, and this is a short-term tag team title run, and this is just a play to introduce the IWC, right? To go, hey, IWC, come back into the WWE pool.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping this is, but I don't believe in the motto, you got to reward long-term fans as well as short-term casual fans. WWE has never been in the business of booking that way. If that was the case, then they wouldn't have attempted to do The Rock versus Roman and things like that, because that is 100% being geared towards the casual fan.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Does anybody submit any awards? Let me look at my phone real quick. Discord.
Can I submit one right now?
Sure, go for it.
The best dressed of the night.
Okay.
And I am going to nominate Jade Cargill.
Interesting.
I loved her outfit tonight. I thought it was freaking amazing. And at first I was going to think like Tiffany, Mm-hmm. Then I saw Jade's and I was like, I really, really like hers. It's pretty.
Yeah, Wavy D. It's not an age issue for me with the Motor City Machine Guns. It's literally that they're not exciting. The only age issue I would argue is that you guys keep saying they used to be really exciting and really good. My problem is up until now I have not seen them do anything that excites me. Like, at least with the Young Bucks, they do a lot of crazy flips and shit. I haven't seen any of that. So that's the argument I make. Randy Orton, I don't care how old he is, he's still exciting. He's still doing things that excite me. All right, awards for the night. Wavy D has best new attire goes to Nia Jax.
Okay.
GM of the month of the week goes to Nick Aldis. Mm-hmm. And the 90-day non-compete winner, Giovanni Vinci. That's true. I didn't even think about that.
What?
Where the fuck is the Italian Giovanni Da Vinci or whatever?
The other part of the Imperium?
Yeah, he's just gone.
I thought, no.
He showed up for a minute and now he's gone. What do we have in Baddie of the Night? Let's see. Oh, I'm seeing some interesting numbers.
I have no
here.
idea what's happening. What is happening in
some
Baddie
interesting numbers here. Not mad at this.
Okay, what happened?
Not mad at this situation here.
All right.
Okay, so
let's go.
With 5% of the vote, Nia Jax.
Wavy, are you the one who voted for her?
Who voted for Nia? Raise your hand right now if you voted for Nia Jax. I'd like to know who gave Nia the love tonight.
Okay, who's in fourth place?
That was fourth place.
Okay, he's in third place.
Third place, Tiffany Stratton with 10% of the vote.
Damn, I thought my girl would have gotten higher.
Wait, it just changed. Someone else just voted for Nia.
No.
And tied the vote. So now I think that's 2 votes for Nia and 2 votes for Tiffy.
Okay.
36% of the vote went to Bianca Belair.
Okay.
And 45% of the vote tonight went to Jade Cargill, winning tonight's Baddie of the Night.
Greatest.
Not mad at that.
Mm-hmm. Told you,
definitely
the best outfit of the night.
Yeah, not mad. I mean, I'm not mad at that.
Uh-huh.
Bianca can't win every night. We got to let some other people win sometimes. So, we got to be fair.
Uh-huh.
Tiffy wins every week and Gear 2's
I agree with you, sir, but I had to give it to the best.
Bobby says Tiffy tying with Nia is disrespectful. Does feel a little disrespectful. That Tiffy at 9%.
Somebody said earlier that they didn't like how Candace was trying to just like get introduced into that whole Tiffy and Nia thing. Mm-hmm. If I agree, it feels kind of weird.
Well, she needs new friends. All her friends are about to be fired. That's the truth. Is she's got to make new friends.
Yeah.
She's watching all her friends get fired. They are a tag team. They are blended together. I agree. All right. I agree. A win for Jade is a win for Bianca. How about though? Let's talk real quick before we get out of here. How about this article that came out from Jonathan Coachman?
Who's Jonathan Coachman?
I believe he works for ESPN, but he used to be a prominent figure in WWE. He came out and said Bianca and Jade cannot stand each other.
Really?
Yeah. I just don't. I choose not to believe that. Oh, he said Tiffany and Nia.
Oh, I can see that.
Same thing. I get it. I get that too. They're blended together. Nia brings down Tiffy while Jade and Bianca build each other up.
Wait, so he's saying that. So what did that dude say that?
So
Bianca
Coachman
and Jade don't like each other?
said that they absolutely cannot stand. That he's
Maybe
heard.
They're both 2 strong personalities.
Nah, there's no way.
You think? And they're just really good.
There's no way. Neither one seems like, first off, the personality type to dislike. They're not stepping.
Both seem very nice,
and they're not stepping on each other's success. Like
Jade is like a mom, so she's gotta have some like motherly instincts, you know.
And they're both alpha personalities, but neither one is stepping on the other's success right now, right? They're both
helping each other.
Yeah, they're both helping each other.
The girl up.
Gear 2 said could be kayfabe. I see that, but maybe Bianca is sick of being stuck in a tag team. I just can't see how you would be sick of being a champion. That then goes into like the Sasha Banks conversation to me. Wavy D saying Jonathan Coachman has always talked out of his ass, especially when he first. See, I don't know that. I don't know that about him. I appreciate you.
Well, now you know.
Yeah, I appreciate the insight there, Wavy D, because all I know is I see Jonathan Coachman and I remember Coachman from WWE. I haven't always followed things so closely behind the scenes, so I appreciate being informed on that this dude has a tendency to talk out of his ass. That makes me a little more comfortable because I don't see a world where there's any reason for them to dislike each other. They're obviously headed towards. They're on a collision path to at some point have maybe one of the biggest women's matches of all time. It'll be in the conversation. It's not, like I still think Rhea and Bianca could be bigger. I think there's other ones that could be bigger, but to me, they're on a collision path to like their stories are intertwined. They're going to be two of the biggest females in wrestling. Man is lucky he hasn't been named in some Vince lawsuits. All right, so he's that level of bullshit.
All right, well now we know.
Cool, good to know.
Yeah, no.
Makes me far more comfortable. You have anything else before we get out of here?
No, I thought it was a good SmackDown.
Hope everybody has a good weekend.
Uh-huh.
Everybody has fun this weekend. Stay safe.
Happy 4th of July.
Weather's changing a lot of places. It's finally getting cold here for the first time. We got a little bit of cold weather. I saw that too, AVD. Bruce Pritchard and Michael Hayes are on leave. Do we believe it? Are they cleaning house? That's I guess the question. We'll know this in the next couple weeks, but like I did see the report that Bruce Pritchard and Michael Hayes are on the leave.
Yeah.
Cody is still lame. Just thought I'd get that in. I mean, look.
Thank you, sir.
Look, here's
Appreciate
the reality. This is the last thing we'll leave this on,
I didn't
right?
miss Cody at all tonight.
Thank you, Lauren. Exactly where I'm going, right? Mm-hmm. Is on one of the nights where I'd say this may have been 8 or 9 out of 10 SmackDown, if I'm giving it a number.
Yeah.
We didn't need Cody Rhodes.
Exactly.
We didn't. Cody's impact to the show was getting in the ambulance with Randy Orton.
Yeah, for sure.
That's it. And like
sure.
This just shows like to me the testament of the bloodline and everything that's going on. Uh-huh. So I will agree.
I do have one thing though.
Yes, ma'am.
You need to show Wavy D.
Yeah, she got it, Wavy D. She got the ring.
Remembered it. Uh-huh.
That's all I got for you guys tonight. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure to join the Discord if you're not already a part of it. Yeah. Next week we're still doing the Monday Night Raw post show next week. It's a little bit easier if I do it in this fashion. The 5 questions.
I like it. I like this tonight. It was kind of nice because we kind of knew what we were going.
This makes prep much easier. It's the hard part of prep is always going and looking for topics and trying to build conversation. It's much easier if I ask 5 questions and you guys like converse on it. It's way easier to prep with. So for the time being, we're gonna leave Monday alone. Monday, Raw post show. Tuesday, Mike and D Casual Sports Show. Wednesdays are the Nerdy D Pod, which I didn't say. Next week, hear me out. I want everybody's top 5 list. So you give me a top 5 list, video game characters. Hear me out, video game characters. We haven't done that yet, have we?
No.
We did. Well, no.
Moms.
How did the Birdo one get in there? Well, that wasn't video game characters, was it?
I don't know who Birdo is. No, we didn't.
We haven't done video game characters. I think let's do video game characters.
Okay.
Let's do that. Let's specific that. All right.
All right.
But if you're not in the Discord, join the Discord. Like, share, and comment. Lauren, video game characters is going to get juicy.
I have no idea what's going to happen.
All right, so Wavy D's it. Top
right.
5 video game characters. Lauren, ring the final bell.
Ding, 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 ding.